The SoundForce SFC-Mini V4 is a dedicated Minimoog style MIDI controller that provides hands-on control of your plugins both in the studio and on stage. In this video, I will show you how to set up and use the SFC-Mini V4. I will guide you through the process step by step with two of the main plugins supported by the controller, Arturia Mini V4 and GeForce Mini Monster 2. The process is generally the same for the other supported plugins. Connect your SFC controller to your computer using the included USB cable. Since the controller is bus powered, use either a USB port on the computer or a powered hub to ensure sufficient power supply. Each SFC controller has its own browser-based control panel where all the controller settings are made. Open the link on the support page with Google Chrome, since other browsers don't support the control panel. You can also download the control panel using the link in the bottom left for offline use. Choose the plugin you want to use from the drop-down menu. If there's currently no pre-configured mode for your plugin, use generic mode. By default, the SFC Mini V4 is configured for Arturia Mini V4, so you can skip this step if you're using the controller with this plugin. Even if you selected a different plugin mode, the controller will automatically switch to Mini V4 mode when you use it with the Arturia plugin. Once you made your choice, press Send Plugin Mode to transfer the selected plugin mode to the controller. If needed, you can also adjust the MIDI CC number for each control individually through the control panel to suit your needs. But please note that Arturia Mini V4 and other plugins with a mapping preset require the default CC values. The control panel also shows the firmware version that the controller is currently running. Future firmware updates and documentation will be published on the support page. Depending on your DAW, you will need to activate the SFC controller MIDI input in the MIDI or controller settings. Make sure your DAW correctly receives the MIDI data from the controller and routes it to the track hosting the plugin you want to control. Before using the SFC Mini V4 with your plugin, ensure that the plugin is up to date, as outdated versions could cause issues. For the plugin to correctly communicate with the controller, it needs to be set up accordingly. This process varies depending on the plugin and is explained in detail in the relevant support section of the manual. In the case of Arturia Mini V4 and some others, one or more config files containing the mapping must be downloaded and installed. This just has to be done once. Visit the online manual and navigate to the Using the Controller with Plugins section for Arturia Mini V4. There you will find a download link for the support files. Download and unzip the file and copy the contained files to the locations specified in the manual. Complete the process by restarting the plugin. Some of these supported plugins, including Mini Monster 2, do not offer the option of loading the mapping with config files. In these cases, the mapping must be performed manually. We will look at this process later in the video. Launch the Mini V4 plugin, go to the Settings and select the MIDI tab. Set Controller to SFC Mini V4, Fader Mode to None, and MIDI config to Generic or Empty. All knobs and switches are now automatically mapped. Please note that if you're using the standalone version of Arturia Mini V4, you will need to activate the SFC Mini V4 MIDI port in the audio MIDI settings. Since the SFC Mini V4 supports two-way communication with Arturia Mini V4, the controller's LED indicator stays synchronized when you skip through presets. In many DAWs, this also works when you switch between multiple instances of the plugin in your project. In Ableton Live, you can update the controls by pressing Sync. Since Mini Monster 2 is a plugin without a MIDI mapping preset system, you need to set up the mapping manually once. Ensure the controller is in Mini Monster 2 plugin mode before starting this process. Launch the plugin and turn on MIDI Learn. Now assign each control individually by selecting it in the plugin and then moving the matching knob or button on the controller. Once you've assigned all the controls, exit MIDI Learn mode. The plugin saves the assignments you made and loads them automatically the next time you launch it. Unlike Arturia Mini V4, Mini Monster 2 only allows one-way communication with the controller. This means that the LEDs do not automatically update when changing presets or plugin instances. The process is similar for the other supported plugins. Check the support page for detailed info on each plugin. This concludes our tutorial. We hope it helps you get the most out of your SFC controller. Have fun making music!